Okay, hey you guys, we are packing for Maui today. I'm going for an elopement next week, but extended the trip a little to have a few extra days in Maui, so I'm super excited. Just packing now, getting ready for everything. And yeah, this morning, everything I need to do is just pack up my camera gear, pack up my suitcase, and get everything prepped for the 9 hours of travel today. Okay, so I was introduced to packing boxes a few months ago by one of my assistants, and they have been an absolute game changer. So when I'm packing, this is an elopement, so I need like less gear than normal. So I have my tripod underneath here. I usually pack a few more, have my camera strap, but I just pack like, you know, my normal workout gear. My knee's busted, so I have to bring this to roll out. But having these packing boxes is insane. Like, I just pack up my work clothes, my workout clothes, and then like my normal clothes in one, and that's literally it. This camera backpack, this Active Zone, I literally can't, Pro Tactic I think is the brand, but I have been through so many gear bags in my day, and this one is the freaking best. So I can fit my 24mm in there. Don't mind the lack of lens cap, we're not going to talk about it. I'm going to bring my tilt shift for this one because it's an elopement, so I want things to be a little bit more fun. Going to bring my 70 to 200 so that I can stay far away during the ceremony, so that they can kind of have, you know, the private ceremony that they wanted with an elopement. And then I just stick both my 750s in there. That one's got the 50mm on it, and that's honestly it. I slide, that's gonna hold my little memory card holders in a second, and then my laptop goes in here. Much like most of you, I've been through so many freaking camera backpacks, and this one is easily the best one I've ever had. Love it, and it can carry literally all my gear. Like, I just pack a couple flashes in my suitcase if I need them, and like the tripods obviously go in the suitcase, but this holds like my laptop. It holds what, 4 lenses, 2 bodies, so it is like, I love it. Okay, also packing up my memory cards. Is this not the most satisfying thing you've ever seen? If you're looking for a good memory card case, it's like shockproof, waterproof, all the great things. Easily the saddest part of my day is saying goodbye to this little bean. Not coming to Hawaii. Then this glorious text came through that I was 4 hours delayed, so I arrived in Hawaii at 2 a.m. I made it! Ooh, morning views are not too shabby in this place. Okay, we are here. I am alive. I have definitely showered and immediately changed into a swimsuit because when I get to Hawaii, I am like a kid on Christmas morning. Earlier, I was looking like a fresh train wreck. That travel took it out of me. I got here at like 5 a.m. Utah time. That was rough. But I'm super excited. Today we're just chilling. I'm gonna go do my stretches, ice my knee. I'm pretty tired, but if someone has to be in Maui, rest on the beach, I will take one for the team, I guess. You're welcome to like start a GoFundMe if that makes you feel a little bit better for me. I don't know. But I'm gonna go grocery shopping. There's a little farmer's market going on this morning, which will be cute and fun. So I'm probably gonna head that way, see if I can get some fresh fruit, some fresh groceries. So I went to the farmer's market and showed up, roll up, forgot my bags, but I get there and there was only like a couple little tents, and they had everyone lined up, like waiting around, and like we're talking to them and giving them instructions, and it felt like I was getting like prepped for the cornucopia at the Hunger Games. Social anxiety got the best of me there, and I bounced and made my way to the grocery store. But one of the questions I got actually quite a bit was what I eat when I'm traveling for work. I'm gluten-free. I try to eat as plant-based as I can. I can't eat wheat. I can eat meat. I'll be a little sad, but when I travel for work, I usually end up having to eat some sort of food that isn't plant-based, just because if I eat wheat, I'll throw up. So, but here's kind of like what I eat. This is obviously a little bit longer of a trip, but we'll dive in, show you a little bit of what I got. Silk, almond, and cashew. This is like the best dairy-free milk I've found because it actually has protein in it. Got myself some plant-based protein shakes. This is one of the things that I usually get even if I'm only there for 48 hours. Some bananas, a bunch of nectarines, baked carrots, some avocado. Being realistic, these are my guilty pleasure and I can't survive without them. 2 bags. Got some cereal, strawberries, oatmeal. Gluten-free bread is also so expensive and it was so hard to find. The few things I just showed you cost $80. Obviously this is more food than I eat on like my 48-hour trips when I'm traveling for work, but this right here, pretty standard. I'll usually get oatmeal, a ton of fruit, a couple snacks, and like the protein shakes, and that way I can still eat relatively healthy and get like the protein I need, have a few things that I can carry in the car and snack on in between events. I haven't eaten in 24 hours though, so I'm gonna make, I don't know, something. I'm gonna make something for breakfast. Making my way to the beach. I've gone swimming like twice this summer, so this feels amazing. I'm pretty sure Hawaii is where I'm supposed to be at all times. Wow. Back at the apartment, it is so hot out here. It is like 90 degrees. I am going to make some lunch, do some work. You know, should probably answer emails at some point. So yeah, so I just got back from hanging out at the pool for a few hours. I finished Where the Crawdads Sing, which if you've read this book, please comment below. Like, I was so happy, everything was perfect at the end, and then like what was the last a literal page of that book? I just need to talk about it, so if you've read it, please let me know. On top of that, I also discovered what my legs look like from sitting at the beach for 2 hours. Would you look at that? I don't know if you can see that, but it's definitely burnt there and at the bottom. I have like this really cool thing where no matter how much sunscreen I put on, I get fried. And like in situations where no one else gets burnt. I literally lathered myself in sunscreen and I still look like this, so it got worse. And you can see where I could reach on my back and where I couldn't. I'm not quite sure what to do about this. Since my burn is looking horrendous, I'm probably done in the sun today. So I'm trying to let myself relax. I don't know if I'm the only person like this, but I go on vacations and I want to relax, and then I almost stress myself out about doing vacation right. Like I get stressed out if I'm not doing enough on my vacation. Does anyone else get like that? Like I'm like, oh, I'm in Hawaii, so I should be hiking and at the beach all day, and if I'm not, then I'm not vacationing right. Just chill out at the pool, you weirdo. It's fine if you watch a show on Netflix. Okay, I have been looking for, like dreaming of coming to this restaurant that I'm going to for basically a year. It's called Maui Brick Oven. I'm looking at it right now, and it's all gluten-free, so if you're gluten-free, go here. I know I was talking earlier about, you know, how I try to be healthy, plant-based, cute, but your girl loves mozzarella sticks. That is one of like the things I never ever get, because they don't like make gluten-free mozzarella sticks. Literally, I've been talking about these mozzarella sticks for a year, and I'm just so excited. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Eating mozzarella sticks and watching the sunset, and I'm pretty sure this is what God does on his days off, so. Okay, well, it is like 7:30 in the morning. I'm heading to the beach for an hour. I'm gonna try to get there before the sun is too insane, since I am a tomato. Kind of turns out this is a very popular time of day at the beach for photo shoots and fishermen, so I'm amongst friends. Get it. Get it. Get it. Okay, just getting to the gym, an attempt to work off those cheese sticks I ate yesterday. Found the nearest gym, and it's like the tiniest little building, so let's see how this goes. This gym is not like the others you've been to before. It was covered in motivational vinyls, similar to what your mom had in her house in the early 2000s, but if your mom was a bodybuilder. I am back from the gym. That gym was something else. Almost noon. No, it's not. It's like 10:45. I have no idea what time it is. I have to hop on a client call, so I'm gonna get some lunch real quick, ice the knee, and then we're gonna hop on that client call. Okay, I am cutting up some strawberries to go to the beach again. So I wanted to answer another travel question, which was how to decide what you charge your couples for. When it comes to travel, I feel like people sometimes only charge for the obvious things like flight and a hotel, but there's a lot more that goes into traveling for work than that. And so it's super important. Ew, I just touched a rotten strawberry. That's disgusting. Travel always ends up costing more than what you think it will, which is yet another reason to never work just for travel. If you do a job just for travel, you're going to be paying out of pocket for it 100%, aka you're paying to shoot someone's wedding, which is insane. So with my wedding packages and the way they are now, I actually do a flat rate for every out-of-state wedding. I do a USA package and an international package, and that includes travel. I found that I liked this best because it wasn't fun quoting for people for travel. There's always gonna be a cheaper way to travel. There's always gonna be a flight to LA that takes 10 hours instead of 2, and so it's $50. I found that quoting for travel really opened up the door for bartering, and I don't like having to tell like my clients that I won't, you know, take a certain crappy overnight flight and that I'm not going to stay in a Motel 6. Basically what I did is I estimated what like the most expensive trip would be for me in the US, like if, you know, I have to fly to the East Coast, or Hawaii is like the most expensive, and how much that would cost, you know, for my 2-night stay. I always do 2-night stay unless it's overseas, then I do at least 3 or 4. Ground transportation, flights, hotel. You need to account for the fact that you're going to be eating out most of the time. Food is going to cost more, and not to say I like would charge my clients for every single meal, but on a day-to-day basis where I'm cooking at home, I probably only spend $10 a day eating, whereas when I'm out of town, it's gonna cost me like $100 for 48 hours, which sucks. That's the reality of the situation. And so all my clients pay the same thing. There's no negotiating. It's like my client in California pays as much as my client on the East Coast. They know that that's what all my clients pay. But when I did quote on a job-by-job basis, I charged, you know, ground transportation, flights, hotel. And then I added around 30% because like I said, it will always cost more. Really think about the things that you're adding onto your day-to-day life, like gas, extra gas if you're driving around, food at the airport, checked bag fees. There's a lot more costs that go into traveling than just your hotel, flight, and car. So be cautious of those things and make sure that you're quoting for them, because that is what should be covered when you're traveling for work. I just sat at the pool for like 4 hours reading this book. I finished it. I started it this morning. I literally just hauled through it. Like, and again, I have not read fiction probably since I was in high school, and now I'm on a roll. Can't be stopped. I was obsessed with this, so if you haven't read it, The Light We Lost, read it. Messed me up. It was so good. I just am not even doing photography anymore. I'm just a book reviewer. So thanks for being here during this transition. Well, it is my last morning in this Airbnb. Yesterday was like the chillest day. I just went to the beach again that evening. So I'm packing up this morning. I did my stretches. I'm gonna make some breakfast, and then I'm heading out actually on a hike with a couple other photographers, which will be super fun. One of them, Steph, I shot her and her husband last year, so it'll be super fun to see her again. I'm excited. And then I'm making the drive out to Hana by myself, which I've been really nervous about this for weeks. I'm really nervous to drive Hana by myself, so let's see how it goes. I absolutely got overexcited about the fact that there were so many goats on this hike, so this is all I got of the hike. It's literally just goats.
So weird.
Just gonna be these goats.
I went to Maui, it's all good.
Look at them! Oh my gosh! Look at that tiny. Oh my gosh, she's so tiny! All right, the hike is over. I saw many a baby goat, so that's all I really needed. I packed a little sandwich. I'm gonna start making my way towards Hana. Probably stop at a beach or two because check-in time isn't for 3 hours. The only thing cooler than seeing a turtle in Hawaii is seeing a bunch of people who haven't seen a turtle in Hawaii. Okay, about the turtles. Okay, so I actually went to school on Oahu for a semester my freshman year, and I remember the first time I went to the beach to see a turtle. Like, I went to the turtle beach, and they always rope off the turtles. You're not supposed to get that close to them, leave them alone. Basic common knowledge, you would think. There actually was like a lady there from the foundation of whatever, protecting turtles, something cool. She's like talking to us about the turtle, telling us to stay away, and some jackwagon jumps over the rope, lays down like with his face right next to the turtle, and starts taking selfies. And she's like screaming at him because apparently this like really disrupts the turtles. Like, my mind was just blown, and this was obviously like 5 years ago. Oh my gosh, was I a freshman in college 5 years ago? That's depressing. So social media was like big but not huge, so I can only imagine the things people do now to get their social media photos. But it was so sad and so disruptive, so now whenever I see tourists with turtles, I'm just like, why? Leave them alone. They're cool though. Well, well, well. We might just have to stop here. Just kidding. There's apparently an entrance fee. Guess we're skipping that. I'll come home to my garden another day. Zooey mama, would you look at that? Okay, I never, and I mean this legitimately, I never get motion sickness, like once or twice when off-roading, but other than that, I don't really get road sickness. But I'm kind of feeling this road to Hana for some reason. It might honestly be that I have so much anxiety about crashing this rental car combined with how windy the road to Hana is, but I'm just gonna sit here for a second and let that settle. I also am out of water, so that's cute. Don't know why I thought that was a good idea to not have like a gallon of water in my car. Welcome to my own personal hell where all I want is water. There is one vending machine and it will not take my money. All I wanted was water. Also, some guy's using the vending machine right now and it's working, so. Desperate times called for desperate measures, but don't worry, it's not cow's milk, so. I'm about to embark on a terribly curvy part of this trip, so I'm gonna let that almond milk sit for a hot sec. While I have you here, let's talk. Let's address the next question. Someone just looked at me. Say hi. The next question, which was the most obvious one, which is how to get into destination work, how to get into destination weddings. When I first wanted to get into destination work, someone told me, I don't remember who, sorry, someone told me that all you need is one. Just need one to get you in the game. And I remember hearing that and being like, that's the dumbest advice I've ever heard, cause duh. But it's actually really good advice, and that honestly is all it takes. Once you get one, it's so easy to continue booking those. So my advice, and I say this to everyone, is that destination work is a lot. It's a totally different ballgame than shooting locally because you're introducing a whole nother element of travel, and that genuinely takes skill. You need to learn how to travel with all your gear, how to not be exhausted after 12-hour travel days. You need to learn how to work when you're jet lagged. You need to learn how to work in locations you've never been to. You need to learn how to work with vendors you're not familiar with. There's a lot that goes into it that is way different than local weddings. So number one, travel yourself. You need to be able to travel before you dive into traveling for work, and I mean that genuinely. Like, traveling is a lot, and some people don't like traveling. Like, my husband hates flying, so I think he'd be kind of miserable traveling for work. I've always loved traveling. It's been like a huge part of my life, my whole life. I've always been really comfortable with it, so it's not a big deal to me, but to some people, they don't love it. Travel a lot, first of all, so you get comfortable with it, and then two, shoot when you're traveling. Don't just dive straight into destination weddings. I think one of the best things you can do is, while you're traveling, take on sessions, take on smaller things where you can really get accustomed to shooting in new places and shooting while traveling, and then you can advertise that. And that's really all you need, is like one good thing to start advertising that you're doing destination work. I never did this, but honestly, the more I've thought about it, the more I feel like it would be such a great way to get into destination weddings, is to shadow someone. Like, if there is a photographer who you really admire that does destination work, volunteer to go out there with them and like be their assistant for free. And like, that costs you 150 bucks, maybe by the end of it $300. It's kind of like when you first start shooting weddings and you really want to shadow someone beforehand so you know what you're doing. Do that with destination work so that you can really see what it's like to be a destination wedding photographer before you dive into it yourself. Well, I have finally made it to Hana, and it is as magical as everyone says it is. I'm scouting out for tomorrow's portraits. I want to see if I can get us out there for some portraits. Ideally, you know, on that thing, but might be wishing. We have got some good options, and over there is the black sand beach, where we will also shoot, but it's like a zoo. There's 10,000 people over there. Honestly, it is moments like these where I cannot actually believe this is my job. Like, that I get to be here and scout these locations, and then not only scout these locations, but in 24 hours be here with a couple as they have like the best day of their lives and like pledge their lives together. Like, the most casual job. I just honestly, cheeseball, but like, I really just can't believe it. Like, this is the luckiest job. Okay, I promise I'm not this greasy. It's sunscreen. Today's work day, obviously, have the elopement later, so I'm buckling down, actually getting some computer stuff done. That's what I'm working on this morning. Okay, so I am just getting ready to go to the wedding, to the elopement. It is an actual elopement, so no one is getting married this weekend, so I won't be sharing any of that good stuff, which I'm actually really excited about. It's been a long time since I did an elopement like this, so I'm pumped. It's gonna be a ton of fun. As I get ready to go here, I wanted to answer two questions. The first is what I put in my contract that is travel specific, and this is such a good question because travel work does work differently than other weddings and jobs. So my biggest advice, I talked about this on a previous episode, but is to buy a contract. I bought mine from the Law Tog, or to have a lawyer write it up. Writing your own is a horrible idea unless you're a lawyer yourself. First of all, get like genuine legal help when you're building your contract. But when it comes to the clauses that you need, really, like, as dumb as it sounds, just think of everything that could possibly go wrong and then cover that in your contract. Make sure that there's stuff about what happens if they cancel their wedding, or what happens if they change the date and you've already booked travel, or what happens if they change the location and you've already booked travel. What happens if, God forbid, you get in a car accident on the week of the wedding? Like, do you have a clause in your contract that says that you can substitute someone else to be there? These are all things that can happen to you, so you need to make sure that they're covered. Okay, the second question, which is a great one as well, is if my clients book my travel for me or if I do. I have always booked my own travel because I heard so many horror stories about couples booking travel. Because here's the thing, and this kind of goes back to how I do flat rates and I don't like do a quote by quote basis. Like, if I'm traveling for work, I want to take a good flight. I want to stay in a decent hotel. And not because I'm this fancy person, but because I don't want to feel like crap on the wedding day. That's really what it comes down to. I also care about my safety and like the safety of my gear. Honestly, I just suggest booking your travel yourself, and the other perk of that is that if something goes wrong or there's a complication with your booking, you're not having to contact your couple the day before. For example, if they book your flight and something goes wrong, like the day before their wedding, be calling them to get the booking information, that would suck. It would be so unprofessional, and honestly, I would just feel so cringy. So I completely recommend booking everything yourself. And if they have a block of rooms, sometimes my clients will just put me up in the hotel they're in, and that's so helpful, so that the day of the wedding you can just essentially walk downstairs or upstairs and be there with your couple. But anyway, that's it for questions for now. I am off to the elopement, and I'll give you guys a little sneak peek without giving away all the goodness before these two announce to their families what they did this weekend. Also, I'm wearing a bra and mascara for the first time in a week, and I'm not about it. Not a fan. I am driving the road to Hana back to the airport today. I have a lot of time to kill. My flight isn't until this evening, but I'm gonna go to the beach, maybe see a movie, just literally kill time in Hawaii. So as I wrap up, I wanted to finish off with one last question, which I was kind of surprised when someone asked it, because I just don't ever think about it, but it's such a good question. And that is if I have a certain credit card through like a specific airline, which I do. I use Delta's Amex. I will be totally transparent. I've never tried anything else, so it is kind of like the only thing I know, but I love it. It's been an amazing card. I'm able to rack up so many miles on it. They run specials all the time. Like I think when I signed up, I got like 60,000 free miles, which was amazing. I would just kind of decide what's more important to you. Is cashback more important to you? Is miles more important to you? For me, I love miles, so I love this card. It's been incredible. They don't have out-of-country charges, which was really important to me as well. You get free checked bags, there's a lot of perks, so I'll put a link below for that. Thanks for tuning into this travel Maui video. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.